Yes, 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 absolutely yes. Positively yes. Yes. Damn yes. Really? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. No, 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 no. No, no. Yes. The word is yes. Do you wanna? Yeah. Yes, I do. Yep. Yep. Yes. Oui. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Let's think positive. Let's be in the affirmative. Let's think okay for sure and yep, yep, yep. We're going to yep. That's the answer. We don't want to hear no naysayers here today. Nope. Yes. No nope. No nopes. Yes. We just want to hear yep. Yes. Yes. We. Yes and yes. No. Don't even think about the no. Yes. Just think the yes. Be positive here. Seriously. Be positive. But Mr. D, we can't. Oh, yes, you can. Absolutely. You absolutely can. But no, D, we can't. Yes, you can. Seriously, trust me, you can. But the cops. Yeah, right. So. So. They'll put us in jail. Okay, here's the deal. All right? You're the good guy. Remember that. You're the good guy. You're the guy that has the right to do something. You have the right. You have freedom of speech. You have that right. You're born with that, by the way. You know, some people like to say God-given rights, but, you know, if you don't believe there is such a creature as that, you know, a mythological creature, meaning mythological, meaning not real. What, D? I said, yes, there is no. Yeah. Yes, there is no. People saying things like, what? And I saying, yeah. So anyway, yes, be positive. So, you got a dress code in your school or wherever you might work or be or whatever, congregate. That's wrong. And it's not debatably wrong. It's not like, oh, that's my opinion, it's wrong. It is fucking wrong. It is just plain, absolutely fucking wrong. Period. Case closed. End of story. Not debatable. Okay. So I'm going to say, oh, it's your opinion. And okay. All right. So let's take another principle that we all are familiar with. By the way, D. McClung here. Archer Monologues. Pay attention today. Especially today. It's important. I'm going to tell you some things that are wrong and some things that you could do about what's wrong, which you have every right to do because it's called freedom or liberty. All right. So, and the answer of today is, the word for today is yes. And I don't want to steal from Obama's pathetic thunder, but yes, we can. See, if they had just taken that to heart, the Obama people, if they had just said, yes, we can, and then actually did something that was right and good, and like legal and ethical and all that, then today we wouldn't have as much of the Nazi fascist police state that we have today. And a lot of insanity would have just simply faded away into the woodwork and became history of, you know, another case of, oh, people being stupid situation. You know, like all this fuss over a bathroom or restrooms or whatever. You gotta pee? Find a bathroom. Restroom. Place. Comfort station. Just, you know, do your thing. and forget about what anybody else is or who anybody else. Just, if you go in the bathroom, it's a bathroom. Restroom, it's got a toilet, maybe a sink, maybe a mirror, whatever. Do your shit and then wash your hands or whatever, and then get out. And, don't pay any attention to whoever else is in there. Okay, that's a little risky, because if you don't pay attention, if you're out in public and you're in a place where other people are, or maybe you're in a place where they shouldn't be, and you say, hey, there are people here, and there shouldn't be anybody else here. We're not talking about restrooms. We're talking about, like your bathroom in your house. Like, I live here, and I live here alone, and there's other people in my house. Wow, wonder what the hell that is. That's not a yes time. That's a like, what the fuck are you doing in my house, stranger? And I suppose it's just like a bum, or a crook, or a thug, or a thief, or a house robber, or some sort of trespasser that came in to like steal your money, or your jewels, or your guns, or rob you, or rape you, or kill you, or whatever. Wait a minute, this is my house. You're not supposed to be here. I know that because I just looked around and saw you, and I know for a fact that, like, this morning, you didn't live here. So, get the fuck out of my house. So that's fine, because it's your house and your bathroom. And I think you'd be pretty much aware of that and be uncomfortable with that situation. Like, you wake up in the morning, go down to the bathroom to take your morning pee. And there's somebody else in your bathroom that you don't know. I've never seen this person before in my life. Why are you in my bathroom? I don't know you. And the person says, I had to pee. So, and I was close to your house, and so I came in and sit on your toilet and peed. Or stood up and peed, man, woman, whatever. Maybe you had to take a shit too. Okay, so you sit down, I don't care. Whatever. And you're saying to yourself, but how did you get in my house? Well, the door wasn't locked. Maybe it was summertime and it was really hot and you just left the door open a little so that the air could circulate. And the person came by like about 3 in the morning and you were asleep. Or maybe it was 3 in the afternoon and you were still at work. Not at home, in other words. Because when I work, I'm still at home. Because I work at home. I am one of the blessed people. I get to work from home. Like right now, I'm at home in my studio. Up in my studio. Okay, never mind. You don't know about that, maybe. One show, one of the season they had on America's Got Talent. They had this rather plump girl singing the song that she made it up herself, and it was kind of catchy. And like, up in my studio, and I'm like, joking me, right? and Nick Cannon came out and they sang it together and danced and made a lot, and everybody laughed and pretty much laughed at the girl because she's a freaking idiot. But they were all laughing with her, not at her, huh? Right? You think? Oh yeah. Tell yourself whatever delusion you want to believe. Anyhow, today, it's yes day. It's yes I can. And I don't mean like in Obama, yes I can, because, fuck that traitor. Oh, that was rather blunt, wasn't it? It's like, yep, that was in my face. Blunt, fella. You just like slapped that shit right in my face. Obama, fucking traitor, Now, when I say traitor, I don't mean according to the Constitution in regards to, not that meaning of the word. Because according to the Constitution, it's defined in the Constitution what treason is. And that applies to government and betraying the government. It's a flaw in certainly a flaw in the interpretation of it. But if you take it the way it was written, and what it means is that if you betray the government, you're a traitor to the government. In other words, if you tell state secrets to the enemy, if there was an enemy, and by the way, I won't even go into that. So anyway, if you tell state secrets, if you rat out your president and tell the world, that the president of the United States, is like a fucking liar and a criminal, and he secretly murdered the president of Iraq or whatever, and you told that secret, probably wouldn't be a secret, would it? I mean, the U.S. government did murder the president of Iraq. Saddam Hussein, remember him? We murdered him. We caused him to be hung by the neck until he was dead. So, I don't think that was done by the World Court or by somebody in like The Hague or anything like that. I think it was, the United States government pretty much took care of that. I'm thinking pretty much that the United States government caused Mr. Saddam Hussein, the president of Iraq, to be hanged by the neck until he was dead. All right? Assuming that it actually happened and it wasn't, staged just for our benefit. Like maybe he's really alive somewhere and, he was secreted out of the country or put into, maybe he's in Venezuela with Adolf Hitler. Or Peru or Paraguay or wherever. Down there sharing a drink with like 120-year-old Adolf Hitler. Yeah, right. That's another one of those, oh, yes, kind of moments. So anyway, yes is the word. And treason. So that would be treason. That would be betray. See, I gotta know what words mean here. And words mean what they mean. And I don't give a fuck what the United States government wants to change the word to and mean something else. That doesn't change the meaning of the word. You can say peace means war all you want, or vice versa. Like the president says, war is peace. And you say it all they want, but no, war does not mean peace, and there's no way in hell you're going to make that happen, because that's just not going to happen. War will always mean war, not peace. It's just ridiculous. I mean, any 4-year-old would know that was just stupid. And yet a lot of people actually buy into that lie, that delusion, that bullshit. Seriously, probably even you, the listener, are saying, oh yeah, war is peace. I doubt my listeners would think that way, but it's possible. Maybe you're a first-time listener. Maybe you just tuned in because you liked the heading, the headline at the top of my show, which would be, yes, God damn it, yes, or something to that effect. So, anyway, because I haven't named it yet, so don't get carried away. So someone's in your bathroom, get the fuck out. You have every right. It's your bathroom, and it's not their bathroom, and they're trespassing, and they've kind of trespassed against your property and your rights and so on, your privacy and shit. So if you guilty of treason, then like you betrayed your president, or you betrayed your government. Betrayed. That's the word. Betrayed, meaning treason, traitor, betrayed. Remember that. Go look in a dictionary. It's in there. Trust me, the word is in there. Now, all right. Fortunately for the human race, words can be used and applied under different circumstances and different context. Context is everything, by the way. So, well, some people say that. So if you take a word and you put it in a sentence, and the sentence says something like, "You're a traitor, you committed treason," and then you have to finish that statement to qualify what you mean. In other words, who did I betray? Sir, please pray tell who I betrayed. You betrayed your president. Okay. Got some evidence? Sure. And you told the American people something about the president, whatever president it is you're talking about. We're talking about, it could be Trump or Obama or Bush or whatever. Let's just stick with the ones that are in office at the moment. Or recently, like Obama, for example. So you told something to the public, you leaked, you told something, you give some information about, say, Obama that kind of betrayed him and his trust of you. Like the vice president, whoever the vice president was during, Biden, that's it, Biden. What a jolly fellow. Anyway, so anyway, you betrayed Obama by telling some secret about Obama that he didn't want anybody to know. Like, for example, he wasn't really born in America, or he wasn't really a natural-born citizen of America or of the 50 states. And like, he was born in Hawaii. Now, I'm not saying this in order to point out that Obama wasn't really a citizen or whatever. I mean, these birthers and stuff. Now, I'm not. I could be classified as a birther in that sense sometimes, and then other times not, because I kind of take a different view than even both sides of that. For one thing, his mother was an American citizen, as far as I know, which makes him a citizen. And he could have been born in the middle of, Biafra or some damn place. Now, I know there are technicalities like the father was this, and you can't be a dual citizen of this country, and then also Kenya, and you can't be a citizen of Kenya and at the same time be a citizen of the United States or America or whatever, and blah, 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 and all those technicalities. And yeah, I go along with that. But as far as I'm concerned, and I hate to say this now, but I haven't, this may be the first time I've ever said it in the last 8 years or so, is that as far as I'm concerned, Obama was born to an American citizen somewhere. And I'm guessing probably Hawaii, but I don't know that for a fact, because I've never seen any evidence. And even though it was just some birth certificate thing, I'm pretty sure that it was fake. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'm just concluding that it was probably a fake. The one they showed us, because the real one was never seen by perhaps more than those people that actually went to the courthouse or wherever they keep a birth certificates in Hawaii, and let's see that original, real birth certificate. And the guy holds it up and says, here it is, see? I mean, I don't want to get into that conspiracy theory stuff, but, I don't really care. He was president for 8 years. It's too late now to worry about it. Nothing you can do to erase 8 years of Obama and that fucking traitor and mass murdering piece of shit. Oh, I'm saying nasty things about the president. What a sad man I am. That's called free speech, dumbass. You got a problem with free speech? You can't talk like that. Not about my president. Alright? Excuse me. Free speech. And they say, some idiot comes along like Jay Rockefeller. Remember him? He's like a senator from West Virginia. And, I know about senators from West Virginia because I live in West Virginia. I am a citizen of the state in which I reside, according to the law that determines where you're a citizen of. So I'm not a citizen of the United States, by the way. That's just total, utter nonsense. And people who say that are like idiots. Not intelligent and not educated. So what would you call that? An ignorant fool. Okay? So, if you've ever said, "Hey, United States citizen," if you've ever said that to anybody except a naturalized person or an ex-slave or a freed slave, then you're not telling the truth. And you're probably, let me just call it this way, you're a bloomin' idiot. Sorry. I don't mean to insult you, but you are what you are. All right. So, betraying. So if you betray me, then you are a traitor to me. If you betray the President of the United States or the federal government, you are a traitor to them. Or it. See? So if Obama committed an act of treason or betrayal, did he betray the government? Did he betray the trust of the government? Or did he betray the people of America? Did he commit treason against the Constitution? That's different, isn't it? So when I say, for example, that Obama was a traitor, I don't mean to the government, because he didn't betray the government. He did pretty much what the government expects of a piece of shit like that. He actually didn't betray the government. He didn't betray those elitists running this country, and perhaps the world. He did the bidding of the monster bastards who have betrayed humanity. So that makes, let's say the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers have betrayed Americans, the people of the world, humanity, which is a lot larger than betraying just, one person like the president. Or one fictitious entity like the corporation known as the United States government. Or the federal government. So when I call someone a traitor, I mean they're a traitor to something other than what you might consider government related. Obama certainly betrayed me personally, because I expected him to be honest and truthful and obey the Constitution, because he did take an oath to protect and defend it, meaning the rights of the American people, and he didn't do that, did he? That's one of those answers. The answer to that is nope. He didn't do that. So that's a contrary to the yes thing of today's theme of the show, which is yes, 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 yep. Yep, 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 yep. Uh-huh. Yep. Yes. All right. The word of the day, yes. And I mean yes we can, meaning having nothing to do with Obama, by the way. He's gone, history, and hopefully just fades away and maybe arrested later on and put in a mental institution or executed for treason or crimes against humanity. Unless, he's a nice guy. Guess what? His wife might think so, because she doesn't want to be guilty of betraying her husband by saying out in public something like, my husband, Mr. Ex-President Obama, actually murdered people, or had them murdered, so he hired hitmen to murder people, with a drone thing. Boom, 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 drop, 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 kill, 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 murder, murder, murder. Crimes against humanity. And then she says that out in public, and then people are like, you betrayed your husband? to tell the American people the truth about your husband, that you know for a fact he's a murdering fucking bastard. He would probably say, "You betrayed me, Mrs. Obama, my wife, my loved one, my mother, my children, by telling the public that you know for a fact that I murdered people, directly or indirectly, whatever. That I committed treason." Well, I'm sorry, but if you don't know that Obama committed treason yet, I mean to say he actually committed crimes against humanity, if you don't know that, if that's not like really clear in your mind, then you're in a fucking coma. Seriously. Because, I'm sorry to say, he did. He's guilty. It's not debatable. The evidence is there. It's like blam, 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 blam. Evidence, 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 evidence. Proof, 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 evidence. Testimony. Eyewitness testimony. I saw you with my own fucking eyes. You did that, you motherfucker. So there's no question. Okay? And I'm not delusional. I am not prone to delusions. Not insane. Maybe a bit crazy. But not insane. Yes, I am not insane. So we're talking about betrayal, and so treason. So I'm not talking about the constitutional definition where you betrayed your government or your president. It's sort of like honor among thieves, whatever that means. It's sort of like, oh, I am a part of the government, and as a part of the government, I'm going to betray the government, and I'm going to tell the American people what criminals they are. Like, Snowden, who said, here is evidence, proof, evidence, proof, actual proof that your government is spying on you. So he betrayed, Mr. Snowden betrayed the criminal government. That's like, I'm going to rat out the mafia guy and testify against him in the court of law, and because I was there and I saw him, off some guy, popped him right in the face about 6 times with a freaking 9mm. And I'm going to testify that in court and betray my former mafia boss and get him sent to prison or even executed for his crimes against humanity. Yeah, mafia people commit crimes against humanity. That's not just a government thing. That's anybody. That's the catchphrase today and so on. Crimes against humanity. I mean, if you did something, if you're a mass murderer or even a mass serial rapist kind of thing, if you like Ted Bundy, I'm going to rape a lot of women. And, and did and got away with it. Well, no, he didn't. He got caught eventually. And as I recall, executed, if I'm not mistaken. Probably because he was a monster and he knew it in some way in his mind. He said, yeah, I'm a monster and I deserve to die. So I'm going to, get caught and charged with murder in a state that still has capital punishment. And they'll kill me and I'll be out of my misery. I don't know. I don't remember how that went. It's been a long time ago. But Ted Bundy, so like, you like, let's say Ted Bundy had a mother. Hard to believe, but I'm sure he did. And his mother found out that he was raping and killing women. Well, like, I know you do that, son. I know what you're doing. I was awake in the house when you brought that girl into the house and raped her and murdered her because I snuck in and looked in your door and saw you doing it. And you were strangling her to death and stabbing her and I was so afraid that I just went back to my room and pretended like I didn't see that. And I never mentioned it to you because you're a fucking lunatic, and I didn't want you to kill me in my sleep because I'm your mother and I live in the same house as you. This is kind of hypothetical, okay? Because I have no idea where he lived or what he was doing. It's just a scenario. I'm just presenting a scenario for your consideration. And so Ted Bundy's mother says, I've had enough of this. He's killed a lot of women, and I just can't live. I can't bear it anymore. And he's my son and everything. But this is hypothetical. I don't even know if Ted Bundy even had a mother. I mean, I don't know. Don't know anything about that. Don't know. I have no way to know. I don't know. I can look it up, but I don't know. That's beside the point, because that's not what I'm talking about. So, hypothetically, and his mother says, I saw you do that, because she followed him around town and watched him and saw him do stuff. So she says one day, I've had enough of this. I'm sick. I'm sick of it. I can't handle it. It's just too much. Oh, God, my son is just an animal, a beast. And she calls the cops. The cops come and they go, what is it, Mrs. Bundy? My son is a serial rapist and a serial murderer. He's murdered, like, I don't know, lots of women and shit. And how do you know this? I've seen him do it. Really? Or I've seen the videos he took. He took videos. I don't think he did, but I'm just hypothetical. Putting a lot of different cases kind of together here for one scenario. So I'm sick because he's my son and I love him and everything, but he's just a horrible, horrible monster. And the police say, you ratted out your own son. He said, yes, I did. I'm kind of proud of it because, someone has to do it. He's a monster. And your son, Ted, would say, when he finds out about this, say, Mom, you betrayed me. You ratted me out to the cops, you bitch. It's all hypothetical. Okay? Making this up as I go along. But it's believable. Somewhat. So anyway. And then, so Mrs. Bundy is like, but I had to do it. Because for the good of humanity, I had to rat you out because you're a freaking animal. You're a barbarian, you monster. You murdered and raped women and shit. And I know you did because I got evidence. I've got the pictures you took, or I've got the video you took, or I just happened to sneak in and you were doing that to a girl in your basement, like in your high school days or something. And you took her down in the basement and you raped her and you killed her and murdered her and then you buried her out in the backyard or whatever. And I saw you do it. This is all hypothetical. I don't have any evidence of any of that ever actually happened with Ted Bundy. Just say it as an example, illustration. Because I'm good at that. And I'm doing it. So, you don't like it? Anyway, we're doing it anyway. So anyway, so she testifies against him in a court of law. He gets convicted, and and they send him down to the big house, and then later on they take him out and firing squad or hang him or whatever the fuck they do down there nowadays. Lethal injection, what the fuck? Oh, let's pretend to be moral, ethical human beings and murder a guy by shoving some poison in his veins. Oh, yeah, that's consistent. We're good people, but we murder people. Because they're monsters. Maybe. Maybe not. Anyway. I think some people that have been murdered by the state should have been probably in a mental institution for the criminally insane people. Instead of executed like a mad dog. Even though they may have acted like a mad dog by doing terrible things. But, they could have the mentality of an ant. They could be like totally fucking retarded, imbecile type of people, like IQ of 8 or 12 or something. Like, you just don't murder people just because they got no brains. Put them on life support maybe and then just pull the plug later or whatever. I don't know. But you just don't. It's just inhumane. Barbaric. And yet I've called for somebody to be executed by a traitor or a mass murdering bastard, like George Bush, who's murdered directly or indirectly. Well, I'm saying indirectly. He's murdered. He caused people to be murdered, millions, or at least a million. committed various counts of crimes against humanity. So, should he be executed? Probably. Should he be in prison? Not good enough. He murdered frickin' people, lots of people. And that's not an opinion. That's not guesswork. We know for a fact he did. Period. We know it. Not even close to debatable there. I'm not even going to negotiate that with you. If you don't agree with that, fuck you. You're an idiot. Seriously. I mean that. George Bush is such a nice guy. I don't know. Adolf Hitler probably loved cats or dogs or something. Big fucking deal. He murdered millions of people. And if he was alive after the war, they would have probably killed him, right? As they should have, because he was a monster. You murder 6 million Jews, you don't deserve to live. I'm sorry, you just don't. And I don't care who kills you. I mean, like some Jewish guy or some kid that was a Jew that survived, and like, you killed my mother and father and my grandparents, and I'm gonna kill you in revenge. I hate you. And bam, 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 right in the face of Adolf Hitler. Can't really blame him, can you? It's kind of an emotionally charged thing, but still, revenge. Because once you murder 6 million people, you don't deserve to live. You have no rights, dude. You're a fucking animal. And the best place for you is in the ground. Alright, so we'll just consider who those people are. Adolf Hitler, Stalin, 25 million of his own people, I think was the last count. Pol Pot, every president in America since, well, let's just go back to John Kennedy. Just for the sake of expediency, we'll just say back to John Kennedy. Starting with one of the people that had him murdered, Lyndon Johnson, who then became a monster. And I remember those days because I would get so mad when Johnson would be on television and saying stuff. I was saying, "You fucking piece of shit, murdering traitor, bastard, motherfucker." And I said that out loud, actually, while I was watching him on TV. And like, would somebody just kill the fucker? Where's Lee Harvey Oswald now that we need him? Yeah, I did. I said that back in the middle of 1964, 65, and in that area. And later on, because he was still president and still murdering people or causing people to be murdered in Vietnam, for example. And I'm like, oh, you pig. Because I'm not an idiot and I don't believe that just because the government's doing something, it's okay. I'm sorry. You don't murder people. It's just wrong. And you don't put people in jail for talking to teenagers, by the way. And you don't put people in jail because they had sex with someone that wanted to have sex with them. I mean, you just don't. It's just wrong. Not debatable, by the way. It's wrong. Damn it. Stop doing it. And that's what I want the government. I want to tell the government that. I mean, let's just say for the next 30 seconds, I'm talking to you, Mr. President, or Mr. United States government agent, pig, traitor, motherfucker. Stop murdering people. Stop putting people in jail for having sex. Stop it. Just fucking stop it. It's wrong. It's illegal. It's unconstitutional. It's just stupid, pathetic, disgusting. You don't deserve to live. Fucking who? IRS agents? Who else? U.S. military? I mean, as soon as you put on a uniform and as soon as the government said, yeah, you're going to go, take this gun, go over there, or this drone, and you're going to drop bombs on these people in Iraq and Afghanistan and Pakistan or whatever. Syria. The minute you did that, you became a traitor to freedom, a traitor to human decency, a traitor to the Constitution, the traitor to the principles of freedom, the traitor to us, the American people, a traitor to humanity. The minute you did that. And, oh, I'm sorry, that hurts your sensitive feelings, you fucking redneck murdering bastard. Whoa. That got kind of raw, didn't it? I know people that have family members in the military. And I have to be careful, I guess, and not count them and say, like I know somebody, let's say, I won't be naming any names here, but I know somebody whose father was a career officer in the Air Force, I believe. Air Force, I think. Maybe Navy. No, it was Air Force. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And he was a nice guy. For all accounts, he was a nice, decent human being. For all I know, I've never heard any evidence that said he ever killed anybody. He was like a supply clerk. Well, at best, I would have to say he didn't actually murder anybody himself personally. Like, I suppose George Bush didn't actually murder anybody either, and unless you're talking about his father, George H.W. Bush, who actually was in Dallas and might have murdered John Kennedy, for all I know. Gee whiz. Really? Yes. The word is yes, 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 yes. I said it out loud. And you know, I don't give a fuck. If you don't like it, kiss my ass. Free speech. And yes, I can. Yes, I can yell fire in a crowded theater. Yes, I can. I have the ability to do so. There will be consequences if it turns out there was no fire. But if there was a fire, then I would be redeemed. And I suppose yelling out fire in a crowded theater, causing people to stampede and trample each other on the way out the door, that's just terrible. But unfortunately, I was trying to save lives by yelling fire because, you know what? There's a fire in the fucking theater! And so, I did the right thing. Yes, there is a fire in the theater. And if you don't all kind of escape and leave and get out of the building right now, immediately, you're going to become overcome by smoke inhalation and pass out and then burn to death. Or be dead, be, incinerated after you die if you're that lucky. I mean, lucky enough not to be conscious when you're burned alive. So yeah, I can say that, and there may be consequences, and of course we have to be responsible for ourselves. See, people that say stuff and they defend things and they try to make put things down and say like, but what about, and then I'm thinking, but that's not the case. That goes along with the other part where there are consequences. There's always consequences, good or bad. There's always consequences because you do a thing, then that causes an equal reaction. Some kind of law of physics. So if there's no fire and people stampede and get killed and stuff in the process of trying to get out of a building that was not on fire, in fact, but they thought it was because you said it was, you lied. That should be a crime, I would think. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, you're responsible, so they should hold you on account for that. I'm not sure if there is a crime there, crime against humanity, by causing that to happen that caused people to get trampled to death. Yes. So there should be consequences. Like you could be sued for wrongful death or being just stupid and irresponsible. All right. Come to the end of this episode. Got about 2 minutes or less. So I'm just going to have to close out and continue elsewhere later. Next time. So I'll catch you next time. D. McClung, Archer Monologues. And I hope you enjoyed my ranting and raving and cussing and swearing and saying nasty things and calling people traitors that you might think are like saintly people. Or not. And remember, yes. I'm not saying yes you can or yes we can, because that would be like Obama's thing. And he done ruined it for everybody by saying it. But I'm thinking, in maybe some other words, if I come up with them, I'll tell you, yes, we can stop these monsters. Yes, we can. We might have to kill them, some of them, but we can do it. We can. We have the right, and we have the power. So, okay, talk to you later. Oh, by the way, dress codes are illegal in America, so if you don't obey them. Just tell the principal of your school, fuck you, you're not telling me what to dress, and what to wear and how to dress. There, we'll send you, you'll be outside, tarred, feathered, and dumped in the river, you motherfucker. So don't do it anymore, okay? Catch you later. Bye.